Well, how y'all are? This your buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Room, or that, as my wife calls it, that junk hole down at the end of the hall. We generally try and have a channel fan shoot activity at Knob Creek at least one time a year. Normally, this is in August, September, October. I was busy with some other issues earlier in the year. So we've had to deciding that we're going to put on a fan shoot for the channel, and it's going to be on the 23rd of November at 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening. Just like last year, roll brats, flip burgers, grill hot dogs, have a portalette, on the range for folks to use, because girls don't like to go to the woods. That's all there is to it. Girls don't like to go to the woods. And should have some tannerite, should have an old card blow up, have steel targets to shoot at, and then my driveway is full of Freon containers and propane containers, old fire extinguishers and stuff that I've been saving up all year, to use, and then didn't get to use it earlier in the year. So, and now we're going to. And if you take a notion to bring something to shoot, that's fine. Now, to participate, as always, you'll stop at the main building up by the main range and go in and sign the liability book, and pay a day range fee, which I think is $12 or $15, something like that now. I'm a member of the range, so I don't have to pay a range fee to shoot there. Like that. And we plan to do the same thing we did last year. Plan to have fun doing it. So if you get a chance, load up on whatever you want to bring. And then, as always, if you want to shoot somebody else's gun, you just ask for permission to do so. And like that. I don't know if we'll have any machine guns or machine gun collectors show up and bring 2 or 3 out to shoot. I don't know if that'll happen yet. It has in the past, but I'm not leaning on anybody to do it. If they want to come out, bring a machine gun and shoot it, that's fine. If they want to let somebody else shoot it, that's fine. Like that. And there's no charge for that or anything like that. It's just, part of the overall picture. All right, then. I'll see you November the 23rd, and we'll have some more updates on this issue before it gets there, okay? All right, then. We'll see you when we see you. If you ain't there, you're square. Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This is your buddy George Jones over at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on 8. I got this old used gun. So, let's talk about this for a minute. Back in 1985, the Glocks came out on the market, and they immediately started taking up the law enforcement market. Guys liked them. They were easy to operate. They were trooper-proof. The safety was on the trigger. You had the safety on the trigger and the slide stop and slide release, and that was about it. It was an easy gun to operate and an easy gun to train people to use. And they started taking the law enforcement market by storm. Subsequently, agencies started issuing them to patrol officers, SRT officers, and detectives. The Glock 17 was an undesirable gun for a guy who was carrying a gun and wearing a suit. Because no place you put it, that big grip frame was in the way. No place you put it, that big grip frame was in the way. Stuck out from under your jacket, stuck out from under your suit coat. You know, just not a good undercover administrative detective firearm. Not so much the overall length of the gun, but the parameters of the grip shape and the size of it. Of course, it held 17, had 17 round magazine. So guys started doing something that I thought was kind of stupid. Now, it was in the early 90s before I ever saw a picture of one of these things, and that's this. The Bob Glock. Now today, Glock manufactures guns with this grip frame length, and they manufacture guns that are this long. But back in the 80s, they didn't. So, you know, personally, it doesn't make any sense to me to do this. Okay, but this was commonly done. There was an article in Guns magazine in the early 90s. I remember seeing this thing, one of these on the cover. You know, it was called Bob Your Glock. Well, Bob's your uncle. And what they do is they cut the Glock down, and then they would cut the magazine down. Of course, they didn't have this magazine in those days. This is for a 43 or whatever. I don't keep up with Glock because I don't carry Glock. But they would cut the magazine down to a 10 round magazine, and then JB weld or plasti weld the follower by the floor plate back on, cut the spring, and just glue the magazine together permanently. And that was it. They would carry it with. Now, the one in the article, you could actually get the third finger on the grip frame. So it would be down here like this instead of here like this. So my question is, having been presented with this gun yesterday for a video, my question is, what happens to your overall accuracy and function when you cut the grip off too short? And we're going to find out right here in just a minute. I remember I've never fired one that's like this. You know, damn thing out of the way. There we go. But this is going to be a new experience for me. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to my police armorer in a department and say, hey, I want you to take my issue duty gun that I'm financially responsible for and chop it off and booger up the magazine. And, you know, so I'm sure some of the guys were doing it independently. Now, I was working in those days. I started working in 1984. And, you know, there were quite a few guys around carrying Glocks, but nothing like this. You know, this is, and they were a cumbersome gun to carry. If you were an off-duty officer or you were a, you know, a detective guy or something like that, they were a cumbersome gun to carry. All right. 2-finger grip. I don't know. 7 yards. I got a B-27 silhouette sitting up down there. We're going to try it out here and see how it shootitates, how it firefies. I don't know about this, boys. I don't know about this. Let's give it a try. See what the recoil parameters are like with less grip. Glock's always been a soft shooting gun, you know. It's not unmanageable at all. It's no more manageable or unmanageable than any of the mini Glocks that are out there. Whereas Glock has always been a soft shooting gun. You know, it's like a Browning high power or a 1911 9mm. It's just a nice soft shooter. Pleasant to shoot. Let's put it that way. I'm all over the place like a mad woman's underclothes. I ain't hitting nothing. All right. Works. Let's walk her down there. See what it looks like. Walk her down there, see what it looks like. Well, once I got used to it, I started doing a little better. 2 in the 8, 1, 2, 3, 3 in the 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the 10, and 3 X's. As always, if it breaks the line, you count it to next higher. So this is at 7 yards. Overall, not too bad of a gun to shoot. And like I say, Glocks are always good soft shooting guns. There's a reason why people like them. You know, because they shoot easy. They're easy to use. All right. Okay, I'll load that thing back up again, see if I can hit a steel plate at 25 yards with it. I'm curious to know. Today we're using extreme ammunition from our ammunition producer right down the road. And they've got one of them things with 3 letters and then a period. And extreme ammo, and then another period, and you know the thing. They sell and ship online, and they're real good people to work with. This is just a standard Glock 17 in every way, except somebody took a hacksaw to it. You ain't got a Lula loader, buddy. You're going to the orthopedic surgeon sooner or later and get that thumb fixed. Because I had to. Then I got me a Lula loader and I don't have any problems anymore. Nice Israeli made product, and I like anything made by Israel. I don't know. Let's see if we can hit old boy. Had me a pop on the way over here, and let's see if I can hit a steel 12-inch square at 25 yards. Yeah, I can. Once I get the dope on it. 10-inch circle. Yep. Ooh. I don't know what Jerry puts in them shells, but boy, they're hot when they come out of there. Oops. Better to lock back. Okay. So, what have we learned? Well, we've learned that if you got a Glock 17, you want a smaller grip frame, go buy you a Glock with a smaller grip frame. You know, don't screw up a good one. Big question is, what's it worth? It's worth the value of a Glock 17 that doesn't have a frame. That's what it comes down to. It basically comes down to a Glock 17 parts kit. You go buy your frame, build you a gun on it. $100 maybe, you know, just practically useless. You know, modified type duty firearms are just practically useless in terms of financial value. So, I'm saying, let's not do this. In the 1980s and early 1990s, it was useful in a way, but today it's just not, because there's other things available to you besides having to saw $300 off the $400 off the value of a $500 gun. That's what it comes down to. You know, it's like drilling and tapping a complete 1903 Springfield. You know, $1,000 gun, you made a $250 gun out of it. That's the end of that. All right then, like I take, share, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me a $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to, and if you don't, well, I'm going to keep right on making content for you. There is a fan shoot coming up in the third weekend of November. It'll probably be a little bit cooler. Even if it's raining, we're going to do it, because the lower range is a covered firing line. So, you know, like that. And if it gets cold, I'll light the damn burn barrels on fire. But, you know, I'd like to have done it a lot earlier in the year. But I had some other issues I had to address. But now that I've got some energy and I feel pretty good, we're going to try and get one in before the end of the year. All right then. Love your neighbor. See that everybody in your family is registered to vote and voting right. Join the NRA. Things don't go well here in a little while. We're going to need them really bad. And I'm going to tell you something. If it hadn't been for the NRA, you would have been disarmed 50 years ago. Okay? We didn't have the White House. We didn't have the Senate. We didn't have the House of Representatives. And there was a strong push for a complete firearms ban. Okay? And it almost passed, but the NRA tied it up in court. So, you know, that would have been the end of that. USCCA can't say that. Gun Owners of America is trying, but they can't say it either. All right then, God bless America, God bless you and me, and God bless Donald Trump, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye now.